I will make brief contribution on the bill before us, Madam President, Money Service Business Transfer Bill, Levy Bill 2024. Madam President, it is true that, of course, we need revenue, and we just don't print money. But one would expect that when we make these decisions, that we think of those who will be affected most. And when we look at the bill that is before us, clearly those who are affected most, if we are honest with ourselves, would be the non-nationals. And I'm not here suggesting that the administration would have sat down and decided, let's go after the non-nationals. I'm not suggesting that at all. But, Madam President, these are individuals who reside here, work, they make their contributions, and for whatever reason, they are sending monies back home, and they're not the only ones, right? And I'm not suggesting that only poor and vulnerable ones transfer monies. But, Madam President, one of the questions that I had to ask the leader, through you, of government business, was how much are we really expected to generate from this money transfer? But it was answered by Senator Brown. And when you, in your wrap-up stage, if you want to verify that this figure is what Senator Brown said it is, $100 million. Madam President, I made mention of the non-nationals and the added burden that it would place on them, given the fact that there's already an increase in immigration extension applications, increase in work permits, Madam President, increase in the different category of fees in terms of the work permit, and increase in the non-citizen landholding license. All these adds up, Madam President. And so we have to be mindful of that. So when I speak of the fact that these are individuals who would be, impacted by this bill here, it is just the reality of it, Madam President. And I question, is it that the real reason or the main reason to generate revenue or to curtail money leaving the country, right? Either way, you can say in your wrap-up stage, the leader of government business. Madam President, I would, however, suggest in my wrapping up that perhaps that some sort of a exemption can be made for individual parents who are transferring funds to children in university. I think perhaps that is something that we can look at. The transfers of monies for medical expenses. I want to believe that that is something that we can look at, that these categories of individuals be given some sort of exemption as it relates to the transfer of funds, if it pleases you, Madam President.
Senator George.